I think.
Headphones, Roadcaster Communications.
This?
Nope.
This one.
That one. Yep. All right. Shouldn't hit. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. It's been a long morning here at Chop Studios. Welcome everybody to the Chop Sports show. Not so much every other day, whenever the hell we feel like going live. It is Sturch. It is Gooch. It is Wrestling Rob. It is a packed house today on a very, very cool
Victory
day.
Victory Monday.
That too.
Let's go,
It's
baby.
a Victory Monday on across the board, all fronts here, coming to you live from Chop Studios. Lots of shit to get into. But first and foremost, if you haven't already, and I'm not going to say it yet, I know where Rob thinks I'm going to go with this, but if you haven't already, head on over to MOJO, their YouTube channel. After this show, go check out the debut of the MOJO Market Report. There it is right there. We are live. We are brand new. We are being promoted heavily by their marketing team and stuff. So we're very excited about that. So thank you again to MOJO for the opportunity to launch episode one. How are we feeling now?
Today is launch day. So not only go check out the MOJO Market Report, but actually go over to Apple Store, because it has to be Apple, and download the Market app, the MOJO Market app.
Available.
This thing is amazing, and it's now available to everybody, all people that are in New Jersey. So if you're barely out there in Washington, not for you yet, but we're making our way over there as well.
I talked to my brother, sent me a text of a screenshot of him. He's like, I'm in. Like, he downloaded it. He's ready to go. Me and Danny are in a blood feud right now, battle in fantasy. I think I'm up by like 27. He's got Josh Allen. Oh, yeah, I'm going to sweat that one out. You know why? Because my boy Mooney got a whole lot of zero, and I benched Amari Cooper. We'll get into all that in a little bit. What?
We'll talk about the
/ No, it was horrible. But anyway, if you want to support Chop Sports, you can also do that by heading on over to Patreon.com/Chop Sports. A $3, a $5, a $10 variation is how to do it, how to support the show. You got a break buds tonight? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, there is like a mid NFL game. I thought the games were at 7.
Are you doing it here?
Yeah.
So you're going to be watching the Monday Night Football games, plural, here.
While doing a little card rip.
Okay,
NFL Select 2022.
Wow, you want to talk about your longest day of a history of you being here. Like, you started here, and you got here at 7 with me, and you'll be here until probably like midnight, 11:30?
I think it was was it Tuesday or Thursday? I was here for like 18 hours. So, yeah, I'm not going to be here for 18 hours. I'm going to leave in between, I think, today.
Mark coming in saying I started Judy instead of Cooper. Don't even get me started on all that. We'll get into it as we go. But of course, before we get into the huge slate of the NFL, Gooch has a rundown, and it's being brought to you by the Fusco Insurance Agency. Visit FuscoInsuranceAgency.com for all the new happenings. Mike Fusco is doing wonders over there as far as your retirement plans, as in your life insurance, everything he has to offer. Go check out Michael Fusco of the Fusco Insurance Agency. I put gel in my hair for the first time, and I can't even tell you on a weekday. And it's like, now it's starting. I don't like it at all. But I did get to put my hat on. Suresh over at MOJO said he barely recognized me without my Cowboys hat on for the show today. But anyway, rundown ski, hit me.
Okay, so yesterday was wild. Everybody watched the games. Bro, 7 out of the 12 games that took place in the 1s and the 4 o'clocks, the underdogs won outright. So not only did they cover the spreads, yesterday was the money line special, the backdoor special. I want to get into a little bit of the next gen stats, and then I'm going to get into the rundown. Right? Oh, that's Judge. All right. So there's 17 games where the winning team had a less than a 2% probability at one point during the game over the last 7 seasons. The Cardinals were the 3rd team to win yesterday in that regard. So 17 times over the last 7 seasons and 3 times in one game on one Sunday. That shit was wild yesterday. And then what else did we have yesterday? Trey Lance, bro. Poor Trey Lance. That was the story of the day. I don't believe in jinxes, but I did put out a little Instagram story saying buy in on Trey Lance on MOJO. And then I got bombarded in the DMs. That wasn't very good. It was gross. Did anybody see the injury? You guys saw it?
I looked at it. It gave me Dak vibes.
Yeah.
And it
looked almost like a spiral fracture. I'm not a doctor, but Trey Lance, prayers up. It's going to be a long recovery. Jimmy G, on the other hand, Jimmy G comes in and shines. It looked like the offense clicked as soon as Jimmy G came in. It wasn't that it wasn't clicking prior to. I think they had some points on the board. But when a starting quarterback goes down, usually the huddle kind of, the offense takes a backseat a little bit. Everybody kind of went business as usual. We're back to where we needed to be, and Jimmy G, captain of the ship, and everything played out well. It was an easy competition, but props to Jimmy G and props to John Lynch. We'll talk a little bit about the contract in a little bit. Jose Aldo is released from his contract with the UFC and has retired from the sport of MMA. It kind of got glossed over because it was an NFL Sunday, but Jose Aldo, one of the best fighters in the history of the sport. He was at the top of the game, hands down to me, the GOAT at featherweight. And
he's basically made McGregor, right? That short hook.
Yeah,
he made McGregor.
He's best known for his feud with Conor McGregor, but in reality, Jose Aldo fought about 25 title fights. He defended the world title
but I'm saying he made McGregor. That left hook.
He made McGregor. I don't want to take anything from McGregor, but there needed to be a Jose Aldo present for Conor McGregor to exist the way he does.
That's what I'm saying.
100%. I agree with that. So, happy trails to Jose Aldo. I think eventually you'll see him in some form of combat arena, potentially boxing. Happy the UFC gave him his wish and they released him from his contract and he could do whatever he wants. Speaking of fighting, I'm going to circle back to the NFL real quick. Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore were ejected yesterday and facing a possible suspension for week 3. I bring this up because Tampa Bay has Green Bay visiting Florida, and we need all the help we can get. So it would be nice to see a little suspension action for Mike Evans. That is it for my rundown. Back to you, Dave.
Well, did you this is going to be
Aaron Judge?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we're going to just have that as a standalone
right
topic.
Now, as a matter of fact, because Aaron Judge, that's right, those 3 letters above us, it is clear cut now. There is no debate about it. He's about to win triple freaking crown. It is Aaron Judge hitting number 58 and 59 yesterday, which was exciting because, again, you have the entire NFL slate of what's happening. Next thing you know, bink, bink, you got Toast in our group chat sending all the clips of them happening before I can even see them in real time on Twitter. But yeah, Judge is on pace to smash that record. Now, the only thing is, and I'll have to bring this up because it's an actual thing. We were just debating it before. Here's the Yankees schedule coming forward in this week. Okay. The Yankees are going to resume play tomorrow against the Pittsburgh Pirates in Yankee Stadium. Then on Wednesday, Yankee Stadium, they got the Pirates again. And that's great, right? Then come Thursday and come the Boston Red Sox, which, again, great rivalry game. Let's end the season strong. Let's play them. If you guys are waiting to see the Aaron Judge 61 and 62, because remember, 60 will tie Ruth, 61 will tie Maris, 62 will be his own record. Guys, there's a chance that on Friday against the Red Sox, the record could be smashed on Apple TV. And nobody will see it. That's very alarming because as of right now, what I hope happens is that he hits 2 tomorrow and breaks it the following day, and that's it.
Do you want to know what Apple hopes happens?
Yeah. Right. Apple hopes he goes 0 for the next 9.
That he needs one home run to break the record on Apple TV Day and then watch the Apple TV subscriptions shoot up. And it'll all be Yankee fans. And guess what? I'm one of them. I'm probably going to subscribe to Apple TV.
I have Apple TV already because I don't even know why I got it originally. Maybe it was like free for a minute.
I'm sure that there's one of the 15 things that hit my account every month that say Apple is charging you $16 or $14. I'm sure one of them has to be Apple TV.
I have Apple Music and Steph still buys music. Like I see like $1.99 charges. I'm like, can we not do this anymore? Like it's again with her Planet Fitness membership, $20 a month, doesn't even go. No time.
I'll never understand why people don't use Spotify, but
I use Spotify.
Is Spotify completely free?
It's not, but the paid version is cheap, and you get like family plans. You can share playlist. I'm sure you could do all this shit without
Alexa.
Too.
Play the best.
I just find that Apple runs a tight ship, a little too tight of a ship for me. And
oh my god. Well, anyway,
when he hits 60, that's when it's every
at bat's going to be on the heels, and that's going to be crazy.
So we were talking about that. We were talking about that in pre. You were saying that I think that even if the game is on Apple TV, MLB Network, MLB TV, ESPN, whatever program is on, especially if it's live sports, they're going to cut away from it and go to the Aaron Judge.
I've never seen them cut away and go to a streaming service.
You know what? They're not going to do that because they're not going after the Bonds record. This is just a Yankee thing. So MLB won't do that. Unfortunately,
I think there's something to be said for this record in particular. I think look, you're about to be second on the all-time list, right? Ever. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Kyle coming. I got to ask about the Judge thing. Why do people care so much about the AL home run record?
I think
you would never see like, oh my God, he's closing on the NFC
it's
rushing
because it's
record.
a Yankee record. It's
Yeah,
a team
dude,
record. This is more or less Yankee fans.
But it's not even just an like
And it's
AL
the clean-
record. It's a record.
and in a lot of people's eyes, it's the clean record.
Yes, this is all post.
Me,
steroids.
I'm not one of those people. I'm not trying to go down that path right now. I just think that in a lot of eyes of a lot of older baseball fans, 100% Aaron Judge is trying to break the record. And it brings back a lot of memories of the previous chases for 61 and things like that. So just a
Great
lot
movie,
of
by the
lore
way.
attached to that.
Did you like
number.
that movie at least?
It is a great movie.
Of course. I like
I'm
that
just making
movie.
sure because
Yes,
you
yes.
usually hate
I think-
sports movies.
I love that movie.
It was a
Great
very
movie.
good movie. Yes, good movie. I'm going to give it the pass.
Also,
I could rip it to shreds.
I know you
Yeah,
probably
too,
can.
if
Of
you'd
course
like,
you
but-
can. But there is some other breaking news happening right now. I believe that's the Chop Cop. Chris Payne is back in the comments for the first time in what seems like months. So he's in there. Hello to Chris Payne. So again, crazy situation we're in here with Aaron Judge. And again, if you're a Yankees fan, this is exciting stuff. And hopefully it doesn't get aired on Apple TV. Hopefully he just does it against Pittsburgh and that poverty franchise and just do it at home in front of the world. Now, like every game now, the tickets must be ridiculous. What happened?
No, good feedback. We're good.
Okay, good. That's great.
Needed that.
Where were we?
Got my mid-show
Tom?
mojo.
From Tom?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, cool. I haven't looked. I did see you didn't put in any drops. I was like, oh, God, he caught us. But you can download today's Mojo Market Report on a podcast as well soon. That'll come right after the show. I got more editing to do. All right. So before we get into the NFL slate, I do want to give a special shout out to our friends over at Dat Chat. Be sure to check those guys out. I had a conversation with Glenn last night. As a matter of fact, Dat Chat could potentially be getting more heavily involved with Chop Sports. So we're very excited about that, the potential that might bring. But if they don't, even if they don't, please go support these guys. A brand new social media platform, blockchain, NFTs, all that stuff. They know it. They're the best at it. He was actually at I should probably ask you guys, but I know you weren't. Maybe Rob was. I don't know. He's probably busy too. He works. Y'all go to the weed convention over the weekend? Anybody?
I did not.
You did not. Anything? No? Rob? No? All right.
And Joe,
I guess I'm the only one who went.
Joe didn't even go.
He was at the
my
card thing.
break bud. He was at card shows all weekend. Got to give my shout out to my buddy Joe. He's been busting his ass.
Grinding.
For the
He's
break
grinding. Yes, he is.
He now knows.
But
what
anyway,
it's
so
like.
why was I talking about weed? Oh yeah, because Dat Chat, he was there. Glenn was at the
And he's also
representing.
a Dolphins fan. Shout
Yo,
out. I was
shout out.
kinda,
We'll get into all that
loosely
shit.
following his Twitter.
Also,
yesterday. He had a good
SteveAsbar.com.
time.
SteveAsbar.com is the guy responsible for building ChopSportsMedia.com. So check out our website. Check out him if you have any of those needs. And of course, our friends down the hall at Lowell's who have provided us already with some new water bottles, new shirts coming for Madawan Day on October 1st. If you guys aren't doing anything on October 1st, be sure to check out Madawan Day. They're looking at the biggest Madawan Day in their history, apparently, from all things I've read. So that'll be exciting. A lot of walk-up traffic for that. I know all of us will be there as far as me and you, and of course, Anthony, and I think Nick's coming. I think Rob's coming. Are you in Africa, Ash, during Madawan Day?
Yeah.
Every time I think about it, I think of Toto, the song, Africa. When do you leave? When are you out of here? Oh my God. No baby days for at least a month. No, I don't even know how long. 2 weeks. Oh God.
2
Okay.
weeks.
Well, the countdown's on already. I miss everybody already. In any event, let's get into, before we do that, we got some ball shaving to do.
Yes. Well, some of you do, but not me, because
Not
I
him.
head over to manscaped.com and I use the promo code CHOPSPORTS and I got 20% off
Yes, you did.
a pair of clean shaven balls.
Yeah,
You
about
go
that.
check out the website. You get the Performance Package 4.0. It comes equipped with the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker 2.0 for your nose hair and your ear hair. You got the Crop Razor 2.0 for your
You
ball
did it
hair.
again.
I
You
got
go
it,
down
bro.
and
I'm a
raise.
gra-
You
I'm-
raised. Oh,
I'm
God.
a graphic kind of guy, bro.
Yeah.
You're lucky I don't actually pull my fucking taint jungle out and get rid of it on camera.
Okay.
But yes, the before and
Thank
after, you guys would be surprised. I'm sorry, I
Okay,
just
so
can't
you're
get
terrible.
the own vision of my own taint jungle out of my head now as I try and cut through this read. Much harder than it was to cut through the ball hair using the Lawnmower 4.0. Head on over to manscaped.com, promo code SHOPSPORTS.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. You can only do this and
Shave
find those kinds of reads
your
right here on Chop Sports.
balls.
Chop Sports 20% off. All right. I guess it's time, right? I guess we should get into the wacky world of week 2. That didn't tongue to tie the tongue, and that did, though. Let's start with the locals, huh? How about those goddamn Jets, ladies and gentlemen? Got to give your flowers to Robert Saleh, who kept all the receipts.
I thought you were saying you got to give your flowers to Rob Bohannon, because that motherfucker was in the comments. He was in the group chat yesterday hitting me and you up, and I was very busy at the time. I was like waiting to do my, what is it called again? Twitter Spaces that never took place.
There's one tonight.
We'll see.
6 o'clock. You'll be here. You might as well just
I
jump
may or
on.
may not be here, but yes, Rob was talking up the young Jets team early.
Dude, they look good,
and then they looked great.
Listen, first of all, and also let's also put this in perspective. This is the first time that we'll get into the Giants in a second, but the Giants, the Jets, the Mets, and the Yankees all won on the same day since 2009.
That's crazy.
Hasn't happened in 12 years.
Yankees
13
won the
years.
World Series that year.
Yes, they did. As my dad was on his honeymoon.
And did the Packers win the Super Bowl?
Not in 2000. That was 2011. Ease up.
Yeah, it
over
was
there.
a 2010. I always get that confused.
2010. Yeah.
What happens is the Super Bowl gets played the following year, so I always have to do.
I know.
A quick
There's always like
equation.
the Cowboys win in 95
First grade
or 96. But yes, so
yeah, I agree.
Conklin, yeah.
needs to go.
My goodness,
dude.
like, but here we go.
Terrible.
Like the Jets, obviously, they came into this week. Expectations were high because of Robert Saleh, doing all his media stuff, saying he's keeping receipts, blah blah blah. And I tell you right now, Garrett Wilson, we talked about him on the MOJO Market Report this morning. I think they got themselves a bona fide number one receiver over there.
Dog.
I really do think that this kid's going to be good. And look what he's doing with Joe Flacco.
A dog.
Can you imagine or not imagine, just like wait until Zach Wilson gets back, the rapport they might develop right away?
Kids open all the time.
So what I was thinking about yesterday as I'm watching him run fucking wild on the Browns secondary, who I thought was pretty good going into the game, and they are pretty good, but I don't think they expected anything like that out of this kid. Remember we were talking a little bit ago, or this was actually talking about the Cooper Rush situation, and we were talking about how Noah Brown, is that his name? Noah Brown? One of these younger, maybe third
He's been there 6 years.
You get the point. The guys that a little third, second. Where do you think Garrett Wilson was playing in the preseason? You think he was working with the ones, or do you think he was working with the twos?
With Joe Flacco.
I think he was working a little bit with Joe Flacco.
Good call.
And he had
Good
15 targets
nice
yesterday.
call.
I think he set a record for a rookie receiver. 15 targets. That's all I care about. The numbers are going to come if you give 15 targets to somebody. And I don't want to say that.
So Joe Flacco should start the rest of the year.
I don't want to say that Zach Wilson and Wilson won't have Wilson. They have to have rapport.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wilson and Wilson.
I'm not going to say they won't have a good
it's
rapport.
like a law firm.
I think that there could be a shred of that. I want to know where is Elijah Moore? Because that was the guy that I was expecting to see more of. Our defense is keying in on him because he's supposed to be better. He's not. Sorry, he's not. Elijah Moore might be a nice pro, but he's not going to be.
Little Braxton Berrios action. Well, the guys are deep. Look, the Jets offense played well enough, but leave it up to the Browns. Listen, the truth be told, and all Jets fans should know this, and I'm not trying to downplay your win because it's a great win, historic win. But like, if Nick Chubb goes down, they kill the clock and the game's over.
Well, there's a lot of things we could say about what should have been done.
I'm just saying,
I don't even think that's one of them. How about this? Stop somebody.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying Garrett Wilson was on the sidelines and he said the coach came up to him and said, "Look, Chubb just scored. That gave us our only chance. Now we actually have a chance to win this
100%.
game." And I'm like,
Notre Dame wouldn't have done it.
No,
he didn't do it.
No, they didn't do it.
But how about
I'm not talking any college football today, other than the fact that Rutgers struggled against Temple.
No, you got to do better. You got to do better. I feel like that comes down to the head coach more so than Nick Chubb. There needs to be an awareness by the player, but at the same time, that's got to get coached. You know, you got to, in the huddle, say, if you guys break one, don't score. Was that instructed? I doubt
Probably
it.
not,
If it was, then we have an issue on our hands. If it wasn't, the way the Browns were playing defensively, for the most part in that game, they should have had no issue. They had a 14-point lead with a minute and 30 to go. Give me a break.
Corey Davis.
They left them wide.
Where is the secondary? Like, there's somebody missed a goddamn assignment. You know what I mean? Everybody missed a goddamn
right away, too. And then you come out, and then the onside kick. When we were texting during onside kick, and Jay Fields telling, "Oh yeah, well if it's on the side, it's gonna spin." I'm like, "Bro, are you kidding me? You ain't getting this shit."
For a young,
Jay Fields knows his shit,
like
bro.
The Jets,
and then it's spun.
Former legendary kicker.
For a young team like the Jets, playing with a backup quarterback, going into a situation where it was probably a winnable game. Looking at the situation with Brissett, the point spread was 6.5, made it less winnable in my eyes. But look. You could say what you want. They had the L chalked up, right? But they end up getting the W in the NFL. You got to finish. They didn't finish, and the Jets they kicked the door down and they took the W from him. You got to tip your hat. Exciting time for the Jets. I would pump your brakes if I'm Robert Saleh on talking about these receipts you kept, because you still got, beat to the tune of down 14 with a minute to go. And there's a lot to work on.
There was
positivity across
there
the board.
was a lot,
and a lot to be happy about as well.
The camera went over to Saleh a couple times early when the Browns started scoring at will, like Jacoby Brissett looking like a goddamn Montana out there. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and you looked at him, I'm like, there was a couple times where I'm looking at this game, I'm like, I don't know if this guy's gonna make it out here. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do the whole we kept receipts and then lose. But so the win saves Saleh's ass a lot. I'm not saying he get fired, but like, it saves his image at least.
I think also though, I watched most of that game, and the Jets were never out of the game. Like, it was like back and forth. The Browns were in control, but it was either a tie game or a 7-point game the entire time. They pulled away late with that late touchdown. I think that was just coaching. I don't think it was on Nick Chubb, like I said earlier. The Jets didn't get beat up at all. It was like they were in it the entire time. They just need a little bit more time together. Very young team. I'm excited about them. More excited than I was at any point in the last 2 years.
Casey Hammond coming in with the comment of the game, and he said maybe if Chubb played football his whole life, he would have known they got down. So there it is.
Miles
I would have
Garrett needs 1 sack to have the sack record for the Browns already, which is pretty insane.
I feel like he just started playing.
That's insane.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the other team in New York City, the 2-0 somehow, some way. What world are we living in right now where the New York Football Giants are 2-0 after their 1916 win over the Carolina Panthers? Look, truth be told, once again, the Giants, I'll downplay this. They didn't play that good. They did not play that good, but the Carolina Panthers played worse. You know what I mean? Like, is Baker Mayfield, like my dad has said it a million times. Every time Baker makes a mistake, he goes, that's Johnny Manziel. And it's not close. Like, that's the same guy. Like, they just didn't play good. And look, like McCaffrey's back.
Johnny Manziel without like the drug problem. And I also think that Manziel's teammates liked him.
That's true.
That's probably true.
That's probably true.
But in any event, what I'm saying is Baker Mayfield
But
twice now
both suck.
Doesn't get it done. And now the Panthers are 0-2, and it's going to be up in smoke as far as whatchamacall, as far as
Matt Rule.
Matt Rule.
Not wrong.
You're not wrong.
One positive though is Christian McCaffrey looks healthy.
Yes, it looks like and just like you said today on MOJO, to the eye test, it looks like he's all right. And if he's all right, that offense will hum at certain points. But more to the Giants, the defense played gritty. They took the ball away. That is what won them this game. 19 points in the NFL shouldn't win you a game. I think you have to average 21 or more to win a football game in the NFL, unless it's a defensive battle. And these two teams are not defensive battling, and they're not sound on defense, but it was won by the Giants defense. And now the Giants are 2-0, and they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week on Monday Night Football. So that should be a fun
and what looks to
atmosphere.
be another defensive battle for the Giants, I think.
But that sounds like a game like people will watch though now because the Giants are 2-0.
Of course,
Cowboys
look,
coming from a big
huge
win
implications.
Yesterday.
Dallas is trying to salvage what they think could be a saved season if they could string together a couple wins. They have some winnable games. Cincinnati was the one that they were like, oh, we got them coming off of an L, which I can't wait to talk about the Bengals.
Yeah, we're next.
But
Giants are home or away?
Well, that's
for the Cowboys, Monday night game.
I'm going to the game, so yes, they're in Giant Stadium
right now. After the
MetLife,
Giants looked like complete dog shit defensively in the first half of Week 1, they've now strung together 6 really good quarters of football on the defensive side of the ball. They're not really using the Daniel Jones arm, but Daniel Jones ran for some big first downs and some big spots. And again, we were talking about Christian McCaffrey looking like he's back. We saw Saquon Week 1. It was interesting to see how he was going to respond Week 2 after getting a full workload, leading the NFL in touches, I believe, in the first week, coming off of a major injury 2 years in a row. Saquon handled it well. He looked like he
was all right. No, his stats didn't match the first week.
I'm talking about workload.
But can we talk about one more thing?
Going to him.
One more thing about this game, and we referenced it on MOJO today.
Kenny
Galladay. Bro, 1 catch last week. 0 catches, 0 targets this week. They go to interview him at the end. Well, I'm sure nobody actually wanted to catch up with Kenny Galladay, but he was nowhere to be found. His locker was empty, bro.
What?
Left the locker room during a team celebration. He's making $20 million a year, bro. That's a lot of dead cap money. They might want to find a suitor. What'd you say?
I'd be partying in the background, baby. Whatever. I'm not getting hurt. I'm making $20 million a year.
All right, but it seems like he cares a little bit more about football, which is good to see. Considering Daniel Jones isn't finding you or even looking your way.
But Dave,
that's troubling.
Preseason, man. Just like I did. It was like 1st and goal, right, on the 5-yard line. They do a slant to him. He's not even running the route, and he's not even looking. So maybe he doesn't want to be there, or I don't know what he thinks. But they're 2-0.
Anthony's being called out right now. Payne just said, "Who just hit the camera?"
He's probably just not used to winning. He's played for the Lions.
He's played for Detroit,
right? And now he's like, this is so weird. I would rather
they always leave early.
I'm used to just. Wait. Are we supposed to stick around after we win?
Wait, they come in here after wins and losses? Is that what happens? So yeah, God ain't nowhere to be found. Let's see what the Giants do, man. As we say this, I'm sure he'll have $120 against Diggs or some shit next week somehow.
By the way, I feel like he's not going to get any fucking snaps at all. Judging by the way Daboll chewed out Daniel Jones in real time, if you show up the coaching staff, which is what this is doing, that's it. Let's just call it what it is. It has nothing to do with the media. He has no beef with the media. He has a beef with his usage in this game. They won the game, and it's really telling of the type of person he is and the type of player he is, at least in terms of his relationship with the head coach. I think that if you look at across the same room, receiver room, Kadarius Toney's usage is way down, and you hear him after the game, and he's all smiles. And I don't think he believes that in his heart. I think he's pissed off as well. But he knows the path to playing time. Oh, I see Kenny Galladay's cleaning out his locker. Maybe I'll.
Can I get 2 lockers?
I love it over here. I don't care. How much you going to pay me? All right,
can I get 2 lockers?
Kadarius Toney's the guy that's supposed to have the character issues here.
Unreal. All right, moving on to my beloved Dallas Cowboys. I'm the only schmuck in the world I felt that picked the Cowboys to win this game. I actually nailed the score.
Yeah,
dead on yesterday. That was, if I would have put a little cheddar on that on like FanDuel, I probably could have cashed, bro. I was like, Cowboys win this game, last second field goal. Let's do it,
bro. You were leaving Sunday, and I thought you said something like, "Oh, it's too much disrespect getting 7." I was like, "Oh, you're gonna bet the Cowboys?" And you're like, "No." I was like,
"I don't bet on my team. I just don't do it.
I don't like it either because I don't like to watch.
It's already bad enough they might lose the game. You want me to lose money too?
I used to not bet on my team, but the Packers are on like they're on like an 18-6 against the spread run.
Congratulations.
Right now.
We don't have that fortune. So the Dallas Cowboys get a win, which is fun. We're 1-1 now. Yes, I said we. These people out there like, you don't play for the team. Like, I don't care.
There's not many of those people out there. It's just,
there are. No, there are a bunch of
they don't watch watch our show.
With this game, Cooper Rush came out swinging. Mike McCarthy, credit to him in the beginning, and I'll get into him in a second, but in the beginning, 4th down early, going for it, kind of setting the tone right there for the rest of the game. I have to say this, and everybody kind of roasted me on Twitter for this. Jamar Chase went out there in the media and said that there was flaws in Trayvon Diggs' game, and he's a little hit or miss, and sometimes he's not all in, and this was all over. This is bulletin board type shit, and you don't do that because guess what, Jamar? You had nothing. 14 yards you caught on Trayvon Diggs. 14. So the next time you want to try to burn somebody, don't do it. Just go out and play football, man, because your boy, Joe Burrow, was under heavy duress the entire game. Micah Parsons is a machine. He is a robot. He is not human because every single time he's on the field, he is bulldozing through people. What
scoop.
Guess what, Jamar?
Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Whatever. Shut up. Anyway, blow it out your ass, Cincinnati. But anyway, so the Cowboys get this win. It's a big win. Tony Pollard looked great. Zeke looked, again, he's a different back now. He's just not the same guy. And
he picks up those blocks.
He does. He does. And you know what? He did yesterday twice, and it led for Cooper Rush to hit Noah Brown a couple times over the seam. CeeDee Lamb played well. Dalton Schultz got a little banged up, but he seems to be okay. They're MRI today. But their defense is playing all world, and that's what got this job done. 17-3 at halftime. I'm eating my Sunday macaroni with bonus Mom Barry's gravy, and I'm like, this is great. I feel so good right now. And then just within moments, you just feel it start to unravel. And I'm like, why does this happen all the time? And I'm like, this isn't fair. They go down the field. They score a couple touchdowns. They get the 2-point conversion, all that nonsense. But check this out. Check this out for a little stat, a little nugget. Last time Cooper Rush played a football game, he led a drive down and threw it to Amari Cooper for the win, right? Number 19. Cooper Rush leads another drive and lets another number 19 kick the game-winning field goal, and that's Brett Money Maher. That's right. I gave you your nickname, Bo, until you miss another one. He hasn't missed one yet.
Question, Dave.
What? Is that an actual stat?
When bonus mom,
yeah.
When bonus mom Barry's bringing the gravy in, are we rolling the TV in the dining room or are we in the living room?
Oh, you got to see this setup. One day you'll come on over and hang out, but it's the way my bank account's set up. No, the way this whole thing is done is that we have a pool. My dad has a pool table. It's gorgeous, right? But right around fantasy football time, we cover the pool table with a ping pong table, and then on top of that, we'll do the entire ping pong table covered in a tablecloth.
Okay.
So we all eat dinner in the living room at a dining room table watching TV.
Watching the Cowboys.
We timed it. Let me tell you something. Barry came downstairs yesterday with 8 seconds to go in the half.
Whew.
You want to talk about timing. Timed it perfectly for halftime and dinner. And it was just, kudos to her. Credit to her, man.
I want
She's
to talk
something
about
else.
the Bengals a little bit.
Talk about the Bengals. Talk about them, Gooch.
I want to talk a little bit about Joe Burrow and how everybody's questioning in the comments, is there a regression coming for Burrow? Well, yes, there already is a regression.
It's happening.
He's 0 for 2 and two bad losses as far as the way he played. Obviously, Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, they're going to cause problems for anybody. But Joe Burrow last year, he was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, and he had no problem.
And then they tried to address that offensive line.
They didn't. They did, but I mean, like they
didn't.
I don't think that they really were all in on addressing the O-line in the offseason. With the acquisitions they made was like, hey, we're going to try, but they didn't really do what I thought they should have done. All that said, Joe Burrow's got to take better care of the football. I don't give a shit what. He's fumbling left and right. Every single time, it's like, are you Daniel Jones or are you fucking Joe Burrow? What's going on, Joe? I got you in 7 leagues. I didn't mean to do that, but it happens. Looking like Joe Burrow out here, fumbling left and right. I think that eventually it'll be fine, but there is a lot of cause for concern right now because of the offensive line. I don't have any problems with Jamar Chase talking a little bit of shit before the game. You would like to see
you got to back it up.
You want to see him back it up, but young players are going to be brash. And 9 times out of 10, a guy like that, he backs it up.
Well, that's what I was getting told on Twitter. Like, he could say that. He'll back it up. And I'm like, cool, we'll see.
It's not necessarily about you when you're the wideout. You need some more things to go your way, and it did not go their way.
Toast, you want to hear
running for his life?
Interesting nugget. Toast is coming in with a lot of like 0-2 made the playoff conversations right here. So since 2007, 118 teams have gone 0-2. Only 12 of them made the playoffs. That's 106-12 odds for all you math fans. If 11 teams were 0-2 in 2020, none of them made the playoffs. 7 in 2021, none of them made the playoffs. Then he comes up with another one. Since 1970, 400 NFL teams have started off 0-2. Only 38 made the playoffs. Toast, do you want a really cool nugget? In 1993, the Dallas Cowboys started off 0-2 and won the Super Bowl. How you like that? So every time the Cowboys start 0-2, it's the first thing me and my dad say to each other. Like, don't worry, they won the Super Bowl in 93.
It's been a while. I think the Cowboys haven't started 0-2 since like 2011.
All right. And not all of us were that fortunate. But anyway, speaking of those beloved Packers, they did work, huh? They did themselves a job. Are the right off the rip, Packers obviously played well and they spread the ball out nice. But are the Bears who you thought they were?
The Bears are exactly who we thought they were, and you wanted to crown them. I didn't, but you crowned them. No, nobody crowned the Bears.
Breaks the desk.
Nobody crowned the Bears. The Packers, to me, this was the easiest lay of the weekend. I went alternate line minus 16.5, cashed up one plus 155. I thought it would be a little bit better of a payout, but I'll take it. I had a nice little prop action with an Aaron Jones over 60 yards, over 25 receiving yards, and a touchdown anytime. That was done by like the first quarter. So from there, it was smooth sailing. Packers rolled in this one. The Bears didn't complete a pass to a receiver.
Don't get me started. I had Mooney with a
Not
goose.
one.
Goosey.
Justin Fields was looking confused out there. He was fumbling snaps. He was doing everything you could possibly do to look like you didn't know what you were doing. And then all of a sudden, he'd make a crazy play with his legs.
Yeah, well, let's not get it twisted, though. And AJ came in and said attempt 11 passes throughout the course of the night, which is ridiculous, right? But like the Bears rushing attack was okay. Like Montgomery and Herbert played pretty good.
Khalil Herbert was nowhere to be found outside of one run. And there was one drive in the second half that the Packers got gashed on the ground.
Oh, yeah, it's when we were texting. You were like, F Montgomery.
Yeah, fuck Montgomery right now, bro. They was killing me because and then, you know what? Fuck Montgomery, and then tip my hat to the Bears' bum-ass head coach. What's his name? Eberflus? What a scrub, dude. Everybody trying to be the smartest guy in the room. What are you thinking? You just ran the ball down our throats at a tune of 15 yards a clip, all the way down to the 1-inch line, and you go shotgun, pussyfoot, dance your way. I don't care if they are like, overturn it. The Packers were winning that game anyway, but I needed my fucking 16.5 to cover, and that was the only reason.
You want a hot take? He scored. Yeah. He scored.
He didn't, though.
But he did. Like, they showed it, and he's like, "There's his wrist. There's the ball. It's broke the plane." And they're like, "Nope."
Did you
and I'm
see,
like,
is that a hot take, or did you see the 1,000% of the people on NFL Twitter saying that he scored?
Oh no, that's just me talking like right now.
But the
like,
only one person that said he didn't score is the only person that mattered. And I've been on the losing end of those all the time. The game wasn't in
Doesn't
question.
matter. Yeah,
this was for the alternate line.
I was trying
people.
to get the
Let
10
me
fucking.
live,
I was
bro.
trying to cover. I was like, if
See,
he
you would have
scored,
pushed on that. I had it at 10, not 10.
I had 10.5. That's no push. You win.
Yeah, but I laid 10, not 10 and a half.
Oh, okay.
So I would have pushed there.
Okay.
But the
anyway.
Packers, I cleaned up on Green Bay last night.
So again, the Packers take care of business. Same situation like last year, where they get sparked in week 1, and all of a sudden they come back in week 2. So now you got Tampa Bay coming in. Tom Brady, you're going to Tampa.
Yeah, no, the Packers are much better coming off of a loss than they are.
Dude,
anytime.
what's his record against the spread?
He's now 9-0 against the spread, and now
Off a loss.
9-0 period off of a loss.
Yeah.
Just 9-0. Forget the spread. 9-0 period, and he's rushed the ball. And I say I'm talking about Matt LaFleur. The Packers have attempted at least 30 or more rushing attempts in any single game that the Packers have lost. No. In the game after every Packer lost in the LaFleur era. So next time the Packers lose, just hammer the overs on the props for the Packers running backs because they're going to hand the ball off a lot.
Got it. Packers are 1-1 along with the Dallas Cowboys. Now we go to the most electrifying game of the afternoon because of one. Tua turned the ball over. Tagovailoa, sorry. I just mixed that up. No, listen. The guy threw for 6 touchdowns, almost like a half a mile through the air. Tua played amazing. And I trolled Rube. I tried to troll the troll. And I said that Tua stinks and he's not good and he underthrows ball. Partially true. There was a couple times where I felt like Tyreek Hill was waiting for a punt. The ball was up there. He's like, come on. And he was just waiting. But again, those guys are fast. So it's very, very hard to lead those guys because they're that fast. Look, you can't take away what the Dolphins did. It was incredible. I had my mother text me the entire time. She was losing her goddamn mind. She's a Dolphins fan. She saw him getting crushed at first. Lamar Jackson doing his thing. They returned a kick. I think it was Duvernay who returned a kick. So all signs were pointing to a bad game in Miami. And then Gesicki scores. They go down 14. He does the most terrible gritty I've ever seen in my life. He's just the whitest, oldest dad doing the gritty. It was ridiculous. But then the Dolphins make all the way the comeback. Gooch, how dangerous is this Dolphin team with this speed on the outsides, bro?
I mean, you saw it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as easy as it was across the league as it was yesterday against that banged up Ravens secondary. They really they got outmatched in the second half. They held up pretty decent in the first half, but it was just the ball control from the Ravens. They scored at will.
Back pain.
Jalen Waddle is so fast. He might actually be faster than Tyreek Hill in like a straightaway speed race. It's insane. They have 1 and 1A in terms of speed in the league. And we could sit here and split hairs all you want about how Tua is with the deep ball. Motherfucker threw for 1,000 yards and 38 touchdowns, all with in the fourth quarter and 8 minutes to go, down 127 points.
Yeah.
Look, Tua's a winner.
Significant
he wins games, bro. It's like Jimmy G with the ability to put up 400 yards and 4 touchdowns in a half. That's what I'm looking at. It's like win percentage wise, Tua wins. Look at his rookie year when he came in. Look at last year when he played, and look at right now. Tua has done nothing but win. Even in college, I'm pretty sure he just won. I'm going with Tua. I got Tua in 2 of my leagues as my backup, and it looks like I might need him with Joe Burrow shit in the bed left and right.
I might need a quarterback with Herbert getting hurt. Is he going to play, you think? Probably, right? Cracked ribs and all? He'll play.
He's 6'9".
I had Lamar, Rashad Bateman, and Mark Andrews.
Oh, the Bateman move that I had. I made that move at the last 12:58. I put Bateman in for Gabe Davis. Swapped him. I said, you know what? It's either if Gabe Davis don't go, then I got to grab some 5th receiver in Buffalo. So let's just go with the guaranteed player. And Bateman went off.
A little fantasy advice. Anytime you have a potentially injured player that's not going until Monday night, always put him in the flex.
Yeah.
I had him in the flex, but I'm just saying, I was just waiting. I was like, I don't even want to chance it just in case this guy, and even if he's hobbled, it might suck, So anyway, Dolphins.
Let's talk about those dogs right here.
Yeah. All right. They're not dogs. They're actually, for the first time ever, the Lions came in there as favorites, and the Detroit Lions get the
first
dub.
time ever.
First
Dave
time
says
24
They've been around
games.
since 1920.
I know. For the first time in 24 games, the Lions came in as the favorites. So congratulations to those knee-biting bastards over there in Detroit. Big emotional win for the Detroit Lions. And just even more importantly, the Washington Commanders lost the football game. So that's what I'm excited about. But the Lions played well, man. Swift is playing great. Jamal Williams, he's a vulture, by the way. He's in that game a lot more than I thought he would be. But this is because Swift busts out these 55-yard runs and then needs oxygen. So they're like, oh, Jamal, take the rest of the series.
Jamal Williams is a load down low. He's been doing it since he was vulturing touchdowns from Aaron Jones in Green Bay. And he's one of those guys that he's not good enough to be a starter, but in a spell situation, he's great. And in any one given week, if he does have to carry the load, he can do it. Jamal Williams, not only is he SpongeBob, right? He's probably one of the best backup running backs in football.
How about one of the most exciting players to watch in the league right now, Amon-Ra St. Brown? Bro, he does it all. Like the end of rounds, the receiving, the rushing,
keeping receipts.
Dude, yeah, boy, he is something special. And the Lions, don't look now, man. But the Lions have scored 30 plus in 2 weeks in a row. Once against Philly and now once against Washington. They got an offense over there. They're playing football.
Guess what else?
Hutchinson had
they
3 sacks.
Yeah,
they
bro.
set a rookie sack record with their number 2 pick overall. And guess what else?
Hawaii Mike might actually like the Lions again.
Guess what else? Jared Goff threw 4 touchdown passes yesterday. And guess what else?
Are you ready? Going.
And guess what? Garrett Williams isn't even healthy.
Who?
Oh, Javonte Williams or whatever his name is. I know you're talking about.
Garrett Williams.
No, Jameson Williams.
Jameson. Why do I get these Garrett Wilson?
Because we just talked about Garrett
Same
Wilson.
college, same fucking. Actually,
So
they're not.
No, Ohio State.
I get
Same
that.
year,
mixed
though.
up,
You want
too.
to redo all of that?
So Deebo Samuel, I
true.
mean
Watch
Curtis
Nico.
Samuel. I get those two mixed up a lot. Anyway, they have the best receiver in this year's draft class just waiting in the wings.
Yep.
And I say that with a grain of salt because there's some Jets receiver that looked really good.
Yeah. We talked
But
about
I
Garrett
still
Wilson
think
already.
he's the guy. And Drake London looked really good too.
But unbelievable turn of events there for the Lions. So
God
congratulations for them. Moving on to a very, all right, we got the San Francisco 49ers game that popped up here. And this is obviously when we saw Trey Lance do his last dance as he breaks his ankle, high ankle sprain, whatever they're calling it. He needs surgery. It's being repaired today. Jimmy G comes in there, does the GQ smooth. You know what I mean? Like he was fine. Like they didn't do anything wrong. And it's almost as if they got in the huddle and everybody's kind of standing around. I'm like, oh, all right, like we could do this. We've done this last year. So everybody knows the system. Ayuk, Debo, everybody involved. And shout out to Kittle for being a little bit of a vagine because he missed another game. Thank you very much for making the draft.
I definitely get that kind of vibe. When I think George Kittle, I'm like, that guy's a pussy.
Yeah, well, it's a hamstring, bro.
You
or
get
a groin.
a little bit of pussy
Whatever.
from me, not an amount that is not manageable. Does anybody know that? Does anybody know what that's from? If you get that reference,
Give you
He's a
dollar.
huge WWE.
I
fan.
know.
you getting a little pussy from me?
So, Jimmy, what did it say? What was that last comment there? JD comes in. Jimmy G looked kind of smug at his post-game press. Listen,
And why wouldn't he?
right? I'm like,
Are you kidding me?
Told you I could still do this shit. And you know what? He did, and he delivered. And the 49ers fans should not be alarmed. I think that this is a recipe for them to just pick up where they left off last year with Jimmy G as the quarterback, and they roll.
The same porn star Jimmy sent the strippers to lap dance Lance.
You think that weakened his legs? Women weaken legs, according to Paulie.
But
It's
for
been
now,
an up and down week for
Mick.
Trey Lance.
What
though.
does this mean for Trey Lance, though? Let's be honest.
He'll be back next year. He's a
Yeah.
starter.
If they go to the playoffs, he's a starter next year.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Jimmy
they're already
G's on a
committed to
one-year
him.
deal. It's
Yeah,
not like
Jimmy G's gonna go
They're
cash
gonna have to
in.
re-up. They're gonna have to re-up on Jimmy G.
They're not paying both of those
They
guys.
gave up a
No
lot of
shot.
capital for
Listen,
Trey Lance.
they were going in with Trey Lance to be their starting quarterback. Just because he got hurt doesn't mean it's going to change their plans. So that's happening. Jimmy G is out of San Francisco next year unless brought back to be a backup. But I think if the 49ers make the playoffs and do anything in the playoffs with any kind of success, Jimmy G is going to cash in next
Yeah.
year.
I'm gonna bring
somewhere
that
else.
up. I have the
I'm
specs.
saying, like, if he
here.
wins the Super Bowl, what do you think they still let him go?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh man, I don't know, man.
That's rough. dude.
Maybe from an NFC
I
title
get
game
it,
one year
though.
and then a Super Bowl the next. Dude, how do you
Well,
do
it's a
that? How
good
do you
thing
look
they're
yourself in
not
the
gonna win
mirror?
the Super Bowl. But
No, but
anyway.
I'm saying, like, how do you look
He's
yourself
right,
in the
though,
mirror?
right?
How are you John Lynch at the end of the year? Let's just say it's a successful year, meaning they either win the NFC West or they are a wild card and they get far in the playoff. What
so
about
Jimmy G wins
back-to-back
the-
NFC
so Jimmy
title?
G wins the Super Bowl, then you're going to turn around and like give him a long-term deal at what? At what dollar amount? You're going to repay Jimmy G $25 million a year? No fucking way.
Are you
I
sure?
can't see
Are
it
you
happening.
sure?
You're going to then that means that you have to trade Trey Lance.
Yes.
You have to do it.
Yes, that's what I
for
mean.
sure.
But the value
Well,
is
Trey
gonna be
Lance is on
so
a rookie deal
low,
right now.
It's just not a bit. It's Trey Lance.
Okay.
Because look, the value is so low, but what did you give up to get Trey Lance? That's my point. Like, there's so much capital invested in him. You have to let it play out. You have to.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. But if he wins the Super Bowl, dude, you got to kind of look at it.
It's just going to be a lot of money. They're going to have to pay
Tony
him.
Tony Benevento's coming in and mentioning somebody that I don't even want to give him any time, but it's like, that's why you don't watch that guy. Because he sucks.
So the Jimmy G deal, 6.5 fully guaranteed. He gets 50,000 in per game roster bonuses, 29,000 per game. Just
29,000 or 50.
Just,
so he's going to make $79,000 a start going forward.
Well, no. He's going to get
50 for the appearance, 29 for being on the roster.
250,000 for each game he takes at least 25% of the offensive snaps.
Bro,
Jesus.
what? Are you sure?
Yeah, I saw something like that too. Yeah.
So yesterday he got 250K,
be broke,
right? And then another 100K for each of those games that ends in a Niners win. So we got 350K yesterday. Wait, there's more.
Plus
there's playoff incentives coming too.
God,
50,000 if he takes at least 50% of the snaps in a playoff game. Another 500,000 if he takes 50% of the snaps in a conference championship. Another 50. So no,
bro, the guy can clean up millions
so
of dollars this year for just being
tank.
there.
They're going to tank to not pay Jimmy G and then not have to pay him and deal with that in the offseason either.
Oh my God, 350, dude! In 3 games, he's going to be making $1 million. So
now,
based off of the rest of the season, it can clear like $5 million.
So it could
just to play.
It could go up to, I think, well, I have it written down.
That's incredible.
He could see a $9.5 million boost if he sees all of his incentives. So it would be 6.5 and 9.5. I think it's a $16 million total. Now everyone is like, Jimmy G is the smartest guy on earth. And honestly, he was. The situation was bleak. He was going to get traded to some shithole place like Cleveland, only to be a backup to a scumbag in Deshaun Watson in like 10 weeks. So he didn't want to go to Cleveland. They know nothing but pain over in Cleveland. 49ers have gone deep playoff runs. And look, there was a guy that was unproven, but the reality is he's still making $10 million a year less this year than he would have if he just sat tight and was like, nah, fuck you, pay me 25 mil to be the backup.
Yikes.
And now he'd be the $25 million starter.
Speaking of heartbreak, Joey D, shout out to you guys. Shout out to all of Raiders Nation. Tommy D, the host of one of the hosts of the Chop Sports Fight Factory. A bunch of Raiders fans over here at Chop Sports, and they're all suffering today because Hunter Renfrow loses a ball in overtime, and the Cardinals take it back to the house, and that game is all she wrote. Now, the biggest question here is, how many miles did Kyler Murray cover?
85 yards.
In that one play?
Yep.
Dude.
20-something seconds, 85 yards.
He ran around like
conversion.
like little giant, like blow the whistle. And he's like running around like a fucking chicken with his head cut off, dude.
I laid 5.5 faded the sauce on that one. And I was like, oh, I know so much more than Kyle. I'm fucking right. I knew it. I went against everybody. And I was feeling so
Renfrow,
smart.
man. He's in the
that
house.
That little shitbag Kyler Murray with the backdoor cover to ruin everything.
How do you like, obviously we know they got Devontae Adams over there for a reason, right? And I'm not saying don't throw to anybody else, but like in pressure situations at the end of the game, boy, I don't know, man. Renfro's good, but like he was already in the doghouse for a fumble before.
Renfrow, I believe, was separated from consciousness on the second one. I don't think he was with us anymore after that.
Oh, he got popped?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was there talking after the game, concussion. So
really,
I don't know if it might have been the first one. You know, sometimes you go through things in football games and like he might not even remember the last drive.
It's rough.
I've been there.
So Hunter Renfrow has been one of the most consistent, gritty, tough guarantees in the league over the last season and a half. You got to give Renfrow the pass on this one. You just got to.
All right.
Well, let's talk about this now. You got the Raiders 0-2.
Yikes.
Nobody expected that, right? To happen right now. Or is there turmoil in that locker room, or are they going to get it together? They were up 20 points yesterday.
The problem is now with the Raiders being 0-2 is that their division is so goddamn good that they're going to find themselves in a hole fast. So they really need to bounce back next week. I'm like, I don't know who they're even playing. I don't know what the spread is, but it's like bet the Raiders. You know what I mean? Like if you have to really, the season is on the line in week 3, and I'm not even bullshitting you. Like you cannot go. If the Chiefs are going to play the way they are, the Chargers are going to play the way they are, and the Broncos eventually will get that shit clicking. Like you cannot lose this kind of shit.
They play the Titans.
The Titans. Whew.
We have an injury update as well. Scoop coming in for his daughter Gia, fractured skull back in 8 weeks.
Aww.
Yeah, well, our prayers with your daughter as she suffered a little bit of a head injury, severe concussion,
She
but
wants
she's
to get
good
back
to
out
go.
there, he said.
She does.
Doctors-
Of course she
doctors are holding
does.
her back.
Doctors are going to have to
I
clear
was
her.
like, Scoop, are you about to make a terrible joke?
Yeah, I was
Like,
waiting.
when it said, I was like, I'm not even going to comment yet. I was like,
this is going to be
you can
rough.
actually hear me. I was like
When
a
Scoop
couple
starts like,
minutes
hey,
ago.
speaking of joke, you start like grabbing the table, like, oh, here we go. Let's see what this is going to be. But the Raiders, big time loss. They have to get it together. They have to at this point. Moving on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. With this game, I did not listen when I tell you I didn't pay much attention to it outside of, a couple good plays by Minka again. Guys, incredible, great defense. They definitely showed that they didn't have a pass rush without TJ Watt. Dude, did you watch this game a lot? Because I truly did not even give a shit. The one thing that I was concerned about was the spread. That's why I stayed away from it, because I was like, you know what? Why does this make sense?
I watched this game
and
because
now it does.
I knew it meant a lot to the kid over at the Sauce Network. I knew Kyle was heavily invested in this one. I stayed away from it. I liked Pittsburgh, and I'm glad I stayed away from it because I actually didn't like anybody, but I was leaning Pittsburgh, and I took the under. This was underwritten all over it. I don't think either of these teams are going to score many points this year. The Patriots defense is at least legit, though.
I will say this before we get into any other picks, that Rob and Gooch were 6-7 with their picks against the spread, and yours truly was 9-4. So I came all the way back, and we'll talk about that as we get into the picks.
He didn't come all the way back. He thinks he came all the way back, but he's still a game behind. So he came almost all the way back. Just had to correct that. Thanks.
I came all the way back within one game now.
So the Patriots defense looks legit. Mac Jones making big plays when he needed to, but this was a
did you see
boring
the
game.
Aguilar catch?
Yes.
Mossed him.
Yes.
Mossed him.
Great.
Great catch.
When does Kenny Pickett get called up?
Well,
That's my question.
Damn it. I did mention this on MOJO. Like Kenny Pickett's stock on MOJO started to climb yesterday.
Yeah, because
now we're starting to realize, like, wait a minute.
Conclusion, and the expectation is that at any given moment right now, I know Tomlin is a dinosaur, and it'll probably be way too long before they actually do pull the fucking reins off and give it to the kid. Even though, he might not be able to hold the football, he could still throw the football further and better than Mitch Trubisky.
They got to stop that shit, by the way. If I have to hear one more time about somebody's hand size during the fucking combine, I give a flying fuck.
Just so we're clear, Ghetto Gronk will never let that go.
I know, and it's
that
ridiculous.
Is going to go on
so
and on.
So dumb.
God forbid if he fumbles like twice in a game.
Forget it.
Over with.
Forget it. Anyway, moving on to the Rams, who came out guns blazing yesterday, and then let Atlanta come all the way back, which is insane. I didn't see much of this game because obviously the 4:00 slot, I'm kind of zeroed in on the Cowboys, but I did see Cooper Kupp do his job.
Pissed me off. Cooper Kupp did his job. Cooper Kupp fumbled instead of allowing us to cover that spread. Cooper Kupp fumbled and he opened the door for a shitty backdoor cover. Bro, this game bothered me. This game reminded me like the game I watched last year where the Texans backdoor covered on the Rams when they were up fucking 81 touchdowns at halftime. It made me so sick. This game and the Raiders game literally separated me from having the best football Sunday of my entire life.
Entire life?
Ever. Gambling.
Ever.
Wise, yeah.
Wow. Week 2.
I still had a
good
one.
Hard to top.
I had a good one, but these two, man.
All right. Now, how about this? How about Tom Brady struggling once again?
See,
in New Orleans? What?
Kyle agrees. Nah, Cooper Kupp could eat shit. I swear to God, never give that asshole props again because I think he was in the same.
Oh God,
that's the same breath right there.
But we all cashed. We all cashed on the bet. Oh no, wait. I already moved on to the Brady game. Never mind. Sorry.
What did we cash on?
Like I said, I didn't bet that game.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm talking about this game. Cashed on this one because Tampa Bay went out there, took care of business, but we saw a lot of angry Brady, and boy, oh boy, was those frustrations. Giselle must be in his mind right now because he's throwing tablets again. He's screaming. It's one of those great sights for NFL. It's not an NFL season until he throws.
No. That's the worst sight for an NFL fan because you know what's coming. When you see like an
he's just gonna
Brady,
crush
like,
everybody going
now
forward.
He gets Wednesdays
it's like,
off.
look at that whiny bitch.
Well, you know what?
And then you're like, look at that. Tom Brady's such a bitch. And then you're like,
you don't want to piss him off.
Definitely going to
pissed off Tom Brady's a very evil, dangerous man.
Pissed off Tom Brady.
No, but what I will say is this. What was I saying?
The Wednesday thing.
The Wednesday, yeah. That is not breaking news It is called Veterans Wednesday. Every veteran in the league gets off on a Wednesday, but yet they had to make this news because it was Tom Brady. Like, sources have said that Tom Brady is now going to take no snaps on Wednesday. Like, who cares? He's not. We knew this already. It's done. Stop making it news. What isn't news is the fact that Tom Brady is in fact bitch made because he did decide to talk shit to Lattimore and then confined. And then, like, when the scrum happens, where's Brady? Way off there in the sideline. He's nowhere to be found, bro.
That is close up to Mike Evans.
That's vintage Tom Brady, and that's
what
just
makes
him. That's what makes Tom Brady who he is, though, because it's not up to Tom Brady. Shouldn't be fighting. That's why I said I'd kick his ass. He'd start the fight, but he wouldn't actually fight, and then his linemen and his teammates are supposed to keep up for him, and they do. Tom Brady's the ultimate competitor. I love that type of shit. I have no problem with someone getting fired up and getting in someone's face in a game. Gotta love it. Just don't do anything dumb.
Back it up.
Yeah, Brady hasn't backed it up.
There's a close-up.
It's like that time I started the fight at Fox and Hound and I walked out the front door and the fight continued. Good times, Fox and Hound.
There's a close-up of Evans' mouth where he's like that, talking to the driver. He's like, "That's Tom Brady. What am I supposed to do?" Like, so that's I'll find the video, but what you know what I mean? That he's gonna hear it
himself. What am I supposed to do? I gotta do
punch him square in his jaw.
Yeah.
Second times Evans has been kicked out of the dome there in New Orleans.
He has a nice little track record.
Yeah. You think Mike Evans gets suspended?
How about the future Super Bowl champion Jacksonville Jaguars with a 24-0 shutout ski that's an absolute eyewear shutout. 24-0 over the Colts. The big question is this. We know the Jaguars are going to be better than they were, right? What are we doing in Indy? That's a bad football team right now. You tied the Texans and then get blanked the following week. This is alarming. Jonathan Taylor owners, all you people that invested in him, trade for him over there.
Yeah, now
you're going to hurt.
No,
you're going to hurt.
No.
The problem is this.
No, I just want to know if you are still Mr. Know-It-All, like you saying I ripped him off, and now a week later, and you're like, no, you got ripped off. It's
that's
1
the war
week in a dynasty league. Jonathan Taylor's going to be fine.
He's fine.
The Colts are going to be fine. I'm going to explain
so?
what happened in this game.
What had happened was they didn't score a point.
They played in Jacksonville. Now they're 0-8 in Jacksonville. and they're like 0-48 in the last 50 games in Jacksonville. And that doesn't even add up. But what really happened is Michael Pittman didn't play. Alec Pierce didn't play.
What were you saying yesterday on MOJO, Michael Pittman with the eye emojis? What happened?
Because
okay. I was just curious. I didn't know if it was available or not available.
I noticed like a glitch.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why it's all in beta, baby. And now we're live and rocking and rolling.
So I noticed a glitch. But anyway, Michael Pittman didn't play. Alec Pierce didn't play. Shaq Leonard didn't play. The Colts were missing key components on both sides of the ball. And they had to go do this in Jacksonville where, for whatever reason, they just can't get over the hump. They haven't won in Jacksonville since Peyton Manning days. And even Peyton Manning couldn't win in Jacksonville.
What's in the water in that pool?
Since 2003, I think Kyle gave me a crazy stat.
Still stupid.
Since 2003, I think that the Colts have only won 3 games on the road in Jacksonville.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
Or something
that
absurd.
Is
or maybe it was
insane.
2008. But either way, it's an absurd stat because the Colts have been a dominant team in that division for years, and the Jaguars haven't been. Go figure. That's what happened in this one. It's just one of those anomalies that take place every single year, and you start to think, is it even an anomaly?
Speaking of anomalies, right? We got the Denver Broncos not covering the spread because they're just trash.
Because their head coach. You want to see a picture of their head coach?
It's just a thumb. Just a thumb? He's like Kurt Angle?
I got that from Ghetto Gronk.
So my biggest question is, yes, like the offense is not humming yet. And we thought, hey, let's ride. Everybody's getting excited about this offense, and it's just not happening. Or are the Texans a little bit better than what we anticipated them?
Are we going to say that about everybody? Are we going to have to say that about everybody the Broncos play?
It's true.
Because
maybe
Seattle
gets sparked the next week.
Maybe this Denver high-powered offense, and I hate to say it, but I did call wolf tickets on some AFC West teams. I know it's 2 weeks in, but the Raiders and the Broncos aren't looking great, all things considered.
Yeah.
Joe, I hate to say this, but the Raiders are 0-2.
Did you
I
see
think that their offense could turn things around? At least the Raiders have showed promise. What is going on with Nathaniel Hackett?
Bro, they were
third and fourth down. This guy literally just has panic attacks.
They're on the Houston 41, and they punted. Like they're right there. Like what are we doing here?
And like that's the same down and distance.
Or
that they were
31,
at
something
with
ridiculous.
like 4 seconds to go, and he kicks the field goal. a week ago, bro. He's literally just sitting there.
He's having some trouble out there.
He's keeping the offense on the field, and he's like looking at the crowd and seeing like, what do they want me to do? What do they want me to do? And then it's like, oh shit, let's just send the unit.
They should make it interactive.
But then there's like 9 seconds on the play clock.
You heard me, Ralph?
Then there's 9 seconds on the play clock, and then this is what happened, bro. He thinks about it. It's 4th and 1. Should have gone for it. First of all, right? Second of all, he's thinking about it. Then he's like, fuck it, let's send the field goal unit out. Ready? And now they're lined up for a field goal, and there's a delay of game because he thought about it too long, and then they had to punt. I got them minus fucking 10.
I just want them to be like, they give out cards to all the fans, and you're like,
for
run, put up your cards, everybody, right? And they just take a poll, and they're like, 86% says run here. We're gonna run.
He's the first coach that goes. He's the first coach that, out of all the new hires this year, he's the first one gone. No doubt about it. I don't care what. What
is your boy, bro?
Is it?
Maybe it was.
Man.
I mean, that's a high-powered offense
Judy
run
out
by
now?
him.
Matt LaFleur is my guy.
Is Judy out now? Judy got injured yesterday.
He got a shoulder.
I think he had a shoulder last year too. This guy.
He's got a shoulder again.
Yeah, he's got a shoulder.
He's got two shoulders now.
Crazy.
But yeah, Jerry Judy's out. I don't know. They're waiting on an MRI to see the results of that. Water is wet. Jerry Judy's hurt.
Oh my god. Bro, where was
His
that?
water is not wet.
No, but dude,
shut the.
I was gonna help you with this. I say water is wet.
I wasn't saying shut up to you. I don't believe water is not wet.
Correct. Well, I always say like water is wet in comparison.
We're not doing
Asher's not. She's like,
no,
not. Water makes things wet. Right?
Is air dry? But is it? Because there's like, how do you explain
it's gonna get real psychological in here real quick?
And how do you explain like humidity levels and things like that? If water is in fact, if humidity.
You with that? Anyway, moving on. We got some more games to cover tonight. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, the overall records, Gooch is in the lead at 14-16 through 30 games. Right behind him, 1 game back, 13-17. And Rob is trailing both of us 11-18 as we head into the Monday night doubleheader, which is fun. So let's make some picks. We'll start with you, Gooch. We have the Bills hosting the Titans. The money, dude, -10. Jesus Christ. I don't know where the money is going right now. Maybe Kyle can shed some light on that. But right now, it's a heavy favorite on the money line, at least. And it's a 47.5 point over under. What do you got? This is big now. Don't because tomorrow, the fucking first thing I'm going to open with is I caught you and I'm officially in the lead.
I feel like the Titans the past couple of years, Mike Vrabel has coached well against
I think so
McDermott.
Too. Mm-hmm.
I don't know the stat that Toast put up there, but if he's still with us right now in the comments, Toast, you could throw that stat back up there about the Mike Vrabel coach teams when underdogs coming off of a loss. I believe he's like 8-1 outright in those games or something crazy. And when I look at this point spread, I think it's just too high. I think it's a little bit of a week 1 overreaction. Buffalo looked great against the defending Super Bowl champs, and it was on the road. Now you get Buffalo with the Bills Mafia at home. Tennessee lost to the Giants. They look like shit. Derrick Henry did nothing in that game. So I think the point spread is a reflection of the way they both looked in week 1. But those two teams, I think they're a little bit closer than 10 points. I think the point spread should be like 8. That said, it's still pretty high. I kind of like Buffalo based on that. I'm leaning Buffalo, but I could almost guarantee you that I bet the Titans tonight.
All right. I, for one, so you're going on this show, you're going
I really
Buffalo.
Want to see what Kyle has to say about this one because I have a lean towards Buffalo because they're the better team and I didn't see anything out of Tennessee. But I know Tannehill is his boy. I want to see what he really has to say about this one.
I'm going to go with the coaching here, and I'm going to go with Vrabel to cover this number. And so plus, give me the Titans plus 10. I think, look, Monday night.
Yeah, I'm taking the Titans.
Oh, you're switching?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, like I'm if this is going to go down on record, which it is, I'm taking the Titans.
Okay. So we're both on the Titans. Rob, do you want to split the difference here?
No, I'm going to go Buffalo for sure. Buffalo
okay.
home, Bills Mafia. Josh Allen's come for the MVP this year. You're going to see. You'll see.
And Gabriel Davis might not go.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's okay, he says.
We have Stephon Diggs.
So Rob is on the Bills. What else we got? Those ugly, disgusting, just dirty Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
Hosting the Minnesota Vikings, coming off their big win over the Green Bay Packers in week 1. Philly coming off their big win over the Lions. This one's a good one. I think it's going to be good.
Philly's favorite to win the game?
Yeah. It's in Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So -2.5.
You think Philly should be home dogs to the Vikings?
I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
No, Kirk
Oh,
Cousins
is that
shit
you just
on the
giving your
road.
pick right now?
Oh yeah, for sure. Vikings.
You're taking Vikings.
By fucking
Okay.
50.
By 50, he says. Holy shit. Okay. I didn't believe in the big hoopla as far as look. The Eagles gave up a lot of points to the Detroit Lions, right? And I know they scored a lot of points too. And look, Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts is playing at a better level. We know he's going to be better. I don't want them to, but I mean, the Vikings on the road, Cousins in prime time. Get me off the Vikings on this one. Give me the Eagles to win this game. Gooch. It's tough, right? I
Some
mean,
bias coming into this one, maybe a little bit here. That's
Gooch is
spill.
getting nervous.
I just pissed myself, guys.
He's getting nervous, guys. We're
No,
talking Kirk
this is
Cousins.
this is
fucking
not a
fire.
comfortable
Football.
situation. Like I'm it's like I feel it seeping into my shaved ass crack right now.
Manscaped.
Manscaped.
good
Bring it
job.
up.
Good job.
Anyway, the game,
Yeah,
I'm leaning-
back to that.
I think Philly's better, right? Kirk Cousins, they played out of their mind. The secondary in Philly is very improved this year. James Bradbury, Darius Slay. I'm going to go with Philly in this one. I have to look a little bit deeper into it because today was a very busy morning. But
Yes.
I'm going to say Philly. The corners are really good. I think there's a little bit of an overreaction as to how good Jefferson played. I know he's the best receiver in football right now, but they're going to come in and try and take him away. I want to see what Dalvin Cook's able to do against that mammoth of a rookie, Jordan Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a rookie? Yeah, he's a rookie.
Yeah. So, all right. So we won't be making up any grounds. Me and you are both in lockstep with the Eagles and the Titans, and Rob is taking the complete opposite way.
Yeah.
Going to try to gain some grounds here and wind up, with one game behind Gooch
I
and
think
tie
Minnesota's
with me. So we'll see.
secondary is going to struggle a little bit. They didn't really get tested at all week one.
That's true.
All right. So that would be a show, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, guys, I want to thank the people over at MOJO for letting me and Gooch get on in there, get involved over there, as there is a brand new MOJO market report live right now as Gooch starts to clean himself up. He had a little bit of an accident, ladies and gentlemen. That happens. Listen, it happens to the best of us.
Ruined my day.
I mean, it's water.
It's annoying.
You're like my
bro.
daughter.
I have
Like
to
she just
change.
starts crying. I'm like, it's water. It dries. Anyway, so thank you to those over at MOJO. Be sure to check those guys out at their YouTube channel right now for the debut of the MOJO Market Report. And of course, thank you guys for sticking with us. We will return here on Thursday is the next time you'll hear our voices. We'll talk about the week that is of sports. If for whatever reason, Judge breaks the record before we get back on the air on Thursday, we will jump on here and figure it out and talk about it and all that other shit. We can be nice and fluid with this. Chop Sports is getting busy as we go. So we want to thank everybody for sticking with us. Please like this video. It helps us in the search. And of course, join the Patreon. Break Buds going live tonight in, I guess you would say halftime, or you're calling it a time and they're just going, like no matter where it is in the game. I think at 10 o'clock. Is that right?
10 o'clock.
Yeah. So it's a
I'm
little later.
very, very annoyed right now.
It's
at
just
the
water,
bro.
bro.
I'm soaking wet.
Yeah, it's like, we're all excited here. How did you not hear? It was a waterfall over here. It was like
It literally
Niagara
spilled.
Falls. It was like
spilled, and then I couldn't really react the way I would like to have. So it's still getting worse. I'm squishy down there now.
Ew, she's squishy. Anyway, that'll do a show. Thank you guys for watching for Sturch and Gooch. And of course, Wrestling Rob. Hey, listen, look for a brand new episode of The Fight Factory dropping on Pro Wrestling TV tomorrow. I got some prep to do for that. We're going to put together a nice little show over there. And of course, Anthony for helping us. You ready for this? Anthony said he's coming back tomorrow to help us out in the morning. What a guy, huh? Looking for that cash, looking for that payday when this thing goes completely through the moon, my man. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you guys on Thursday, but tune into the MOJO Market Report tomorrow morning. Losing the schedule.
Unsportsmanlike